Lesson 3, how to measure. So up to this point, we have talked about what measurement is and the different kinds of measures: outcome, process, and balancing. Now we are going to talk about how to measure. First of all, though, a note on the differences between measurement for research and measurement for quality improvement. In the case of quality improvement, the aim is to improve care, whereas for research, it is to generate new knowledge. In the case of research, the test is blinded or controlled, meaning that the participants either don't know or it's blinded. And in the case of quality improvement, the test is observable, so everybody around knows that they're being measured. In quality improvement, we accept a consistent level of bias, whereas in research, they design to eliminate all kinds of biases. In quality improvement, our sample size is having just enough data to know where we are and whether or not we have improved. In research, though, they generate a large sample size of statistically significant data. And for determining if a change is an improvement, in quality improvement, we use run charts or control charts, whereas for research, they use complicated statistical tests, such as the F-test, the t-test, chi-squared test, and they use power values. So all these differences mean that the way we collect data may be different from the way researchers do it. Let's now do an example of measuring a process. Suppose a long-term care home wants to decrease the time it takes to serve lunch to its residents. First of all, the home needs to know how long it currently takes to serve lunch. So how do they find this out? Asking staff members or residents for estimates is a bad idea because people's perception of time is often flawed by a significant amount. Instead, what their quality improvement team is going to do is clearly define the start and end of the process. So they decide to define the start as the time when the first resident receives the first course of the meal. So this is time 1. And they decide that the end of the process is when the main course has been served to the very last residents. So this is time 2. Now that the process has been defined, they need a way to measure it. So one of the team members who is present in the meal area each day volunteers to record the start and end times for each day in a week, from Monday to Friday. So they set up a measurement tool that looks something like this. We'll have the day of week, the start time, the end time, and the total time. Which is equal to T2 minus T1. So here we have Monday through Friday. And suppose that the data this person gathers looks something like this. So these are all the start times. And these are now all the end times. So we calculate the total time by subtracting 22 from 46, and we get 34 minutes. And then continuing down, we get 31, 37, 33, and 31 minutes. So in the next lesson, we will take this exact table and show you what to do from there. In the meantime, what if we are trying to measure something other than a process? So the time it takes to complete a process isn't what we're looking at. let's take an example of where a quality improvement team is working on reducing patient falls in their facility. The team takes a sheet of paper and lists all the primary reasons why a fall might occur. So we have reason 1, reason 2, reason 3, 4, and so on down. Then the team gathers all the fall reports for the last 3 months. But note that the last 3 months is an arbitrary amount of time. If there are very few falls in the facility, then they will need to look even further back, say all the fall reports from the past year, in order to get a sufficient amount of data. In any case, they look at the fall reports and note what the primary cause of the fall is, and each time they mark it on their sheet of paper. So they look at the fall report, and if it's reason 2, they make a mark there, and so on. So in the end, you get lists like so. So you get something like that, and then you can tally them up. In column here, call this total. This is the count, the frequency count column, and the total, you just write the number. So 5, 3, 7, 3, whatever that might be. And this is essentially the way that you measure for information you're looking for when it's a counted value rather than a process time.